infamous raids across medieval Europe left a lasting impact on culture then and culture today. But why did they start raiding in the first place? In this video, I will explore the main reasons they decided to expand. Religion is often at the heart of civilization, and Scandinavia was no exception. What we know as the Vikings are a very violent religion that explains everything with violence. How can you explain everything with violence, you might ask? Well, let me show you. In the beginning, there was Niflheim and Muspelheim. Niflheim being the realm of frost, and Muspelheim being the realm of fire. In between, there was a large gap. They called it, wait for it, Ginnungagap, literally meaning mighty gap, or yawning void as it's called in the Gylfaginning, a chapter in one of the only religious records of Norse religion. Turns out there was also a giant named Ymir, and this guy named Odin. Well, Odin and his brothers got together and killed Ymir just because he was big, and stretched his body across Ginnungagap and started playing with his dead body. There is this delightful excerpt from the Gylfaginning that explains it better. Out of Ymir's flesh was fashioned the earth, and the ocean out of his blood, and his bones the hills, and his hair the trees, of his skull the heavens high. Mythgarth the gods his eyebrows made, and set for the sons of men, and out of his brain the baleful clouds they made to move on high. Now that's brutal. Someone might be thinking, wow, that's crazy. It can't get worse. Well, it does. Odin wants to learn about some magical runes, these runes doing various magical things. To get them, Odin comes upon the logical conclusion to hang himself on the world tree, impale himself with a spear, and not eat for 9 days. When he is near death, he learns some magical songs and runs free. It gets even more nonsensical as a man named Kvasir, who is a wise man of sorts, who flies around as a bird to give vague but comforting answers to people in need. Kvasir is killed by dwarves, and, obviously, his blood is then drunk by the dwarves. The list is endless of things in modern context that make no sense. Then there really is no need to wonder why a group of people that learned everything was born from violence and every explanation of natural phenomena ends violently would get on boats and ravage cities. One might argue that these are just stories and there must be a better reason to explain that. There really isn't. Other theories include the possibility of a global increase in temperature that would result in an increase in population and eventually a decrease in supplies. This theory can't explain, though, why this period of warming occurs at the same time, but not before the Vikings started raiding. Another theory that attempts to explain the sudden urge to raid is that the raids were in retaliation after the Saxon Wars. Now, this theory would explain why, if only mainland Scandinavia was affected. The region most affected is not even close enough to realistically elicit a response from the Vikings. But by the year 1787, the Vikings started raiding. Many attribute this to a lack of food or space. There is evidence that new farms were built around this time. This, coupled with a group of people predisposed to violence, made for an even more violent group of people. The first recorded raid was described in the England Saxon Chronicle as terrifying the people most woefully. These were immense sheets of light, rushing through the air, in whirlwinds, and fiery dragons flying across the firmament. These tremendous tokens were soon followed by a great famine, and not long after, on the 6th day before the Ides of January in the same year, the harrowing inroads of heathens, men made lamentable, havoc in the Church of God and Holy Island by rapine and slaughter. Doing a majority of the rapine and slaughter were berserkers, special group of warriors devoted to terrifying the people of the land they raided. What historians actually know about them is very limited. All they know is that they were warriors who were very brutal. There are many theories as to how they went about their brutality. One being that the act of berserking, or berserker gang, meaning to go berserk, was an intense mental state of pure rage. The other theories was that the berserkers ate a lot of Amanita muscaria and drank a lot of alcohol, or even had mental illness embedded in their genetics. Amanita muscaria being a highly potent psychedelic mushroom, family mushrooms very similar in appearance to each other, has many dangerous lookalikes that can have unwanted effects. But if it's being proper kind, resulted in euphoria and a dreamlike state. But the Vikings didn't want this. They wanted the bad effects: delirium, convulsions, and disassociation. The most outrageous part of this is that berserkers were loved by Odin. In the Ynglinga saga, written by Sturluson and Snorri, he calls berserkers Odin's men. In conclusion, the Vikings were brutal as crap, but kind of twisted after all the excitement washes away. They have a religion deeply rooted in violence and a culture that reflected that. When pushed beyond their comfort zone, this violent band of warriors took to the seas, and for whatever reason, is still idolized by people today.